I mean, I've done some, but mostly it's been sound libraries, and also I've been using AI.
Welcome back to our Deeplog. This is Chashu Entertainment. This is going to be Deeplog number 7, I think. I hope. Um, so we made Deputy Dangle, and then we made Sanzavora, and then between Sanzavora and our current project, we were working on some Fortnite maps. But now we're working on Call from the Deep, and Eduardo started with us during Sands of Aura. And by the way, this is Eduardo. He's our music guy, sound effects guy. He does all the sound stuff. So, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Eduardo. I pretty much started with the music for Sons of Aura, and now I was given the task of doing the sound design as well. And yeah, that's pretty much. I've also been doing most of the implementation in third-party middleware, which we're using Wise now. We use Fmod, and recently just getting more into the engine and doing like the more technical implementation. So it's been fun. But yeah,
Good, good,
I
good.
would say
Yeah.
that.
Um,
Yeah.
how are you liking? How do you feel about this project compared to Sands of Aura?
Sons of Era. Pretty good. I think it's like a completely different beast in a way.
Yeah,
Um, but but it's interesting, doing like the first person thing. It's like more. I feel this is more immersive in a way than Sons of Era. And Sons of Era was like more. I don't know what's the word. Like more. I don't know the word. Like
fantasy.
maybe fantasy, but more like visual. As if you're watching some kind of book story kind of
Yeah,
unfolding. You can see the world and everything, and here it's like the experience you have firsthand with the first person. So I think it's interesting how you as a player kind of choose a game based on just the camera view and whatever.
yeah.
So
It
it's
completely
interesting, yeah.
changes.
Just like the little detail of seeing the scratches on a door, you can do it here. But in Sun Safari, it's more about the world, like this
Yeah,
big
the
thing,
bigger
almost like a
details.
diorama, you could say.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
watching a diorama play unfold. So it's
Oh.
it's it's a different beast. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody talk about it that way, but I think yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess so for the beginning of this, I like to I want to start off by talking about where we are as a
Yep.
studio for this week from last week. Um, Currently, you guys we talked to John last week, and he's still working on the tools and everything like that. He's got the gun almost working. I have some messed up animations that I have to fix for him today. But as for me, I've been going and pushing the character that I was working on forward, and I'm rigging him. So soon, we'll have our first monster rigged and animated. And then Cody
Yeah.
is sculpting a new monster for the game as well. It's like a whale lobster fish thing that can ram the submarine or you. So that's going to be interesting. And Zach made a cool little trade system where you can like trade scrap for the tools that are in the game. And
Yeah.
then um, Michael has been working on the fathoms and fixing up some of the discrepancies and some details that he found that needed some polish. And Lee's been working on some
Hmm.
VFX things. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think Dylan's been still working on more puzzles and systems like that. And you want to tell us what you've been doing for I guess the since the beginning of the project you can talk about since we
Okay.
haven't
Okay.
interviewed you yet.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I think in the beginning of the project, I was just doing music. Just pretty much that, and kind of getting into the process of finding like the tone and the style for the music, which is always interesting and not maybe nerve wracking, but it can be like complicated trying to find this specific world. Same for the aesthetics and same for the writing style. I guess everybody kind of goes through this. Um, but you know, I was in the beginning kind of doing this just music and some soundscapes, and I was doing some of the music slash sound design for the Leviathans that we're gonna have. Um, so kind of all of those kind of helped me kind of shape some of the tone that we're kind of using now. Um, so that's been interesting in the beginning. So mainly I was working on some of the places that we had. Some of them kind of got scrapped away. Some of them kind of changed. Some of them were kept. So it was interesting finding like this kind of tone and style, and what kind of music we're gonna use. And I don't know, just you just kind of get it under your fingers. Sometimes, you know, I'm just doing improvising or whatever just for me, and sometimes I can hear some stuff from Sons of Farah, and it kind of got into my you could say my, I don't know, my language.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. You know, some kind of stuff sometimes that's always kind of gets into you because of so many years of writing music for that.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it has happened the same to you with some kind of styles, and you know how you stylize some type of assets and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I was doing that in the beginning, and then, you know, we kind of switched styles in terms of how we're kind of managing stuff at the studio, and kind of Mike set me up for sound design, and I think it's fine because sometimes I was just doing music and not pretty much anything else, and sometimes there was like this week I just gotta do like one little thing, so it was like not doing too much about it. So now it's been interesting to do the sound design as well as the music and the implementation. So now it's being fun because I kind of think more about a designer than a sound designer, or a musician,
Yeah.
composer. So that's been really fun. That's why I kind of been getting more into the engine and how to implement stuff. And now I think, oh, if the player goes through here, maybe we could trigger something that changes the ambience and the music and whatever. But you know, as a freelancer, you just get like a prompt with different kind of list of stuff that you need to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
Somebody else thought that for you, but you didn't get any input. So that's been actually really fun, you know, doing like the in-house sound effects and music and all that together.
Have you done sound effects for any
Yeah.
other projects, or is this your first one?
No, yeah, I have done that with I don't know, demos. I did that for some kind of short films,
Okay, so
just
you
for
got some
practice.
experience.
Yeah, but never like fully in depth,
Yeah.
like now.
Yeah.
And especially the more complicated side is like the not the implementation side, but the middleware implementation, like the more immersive stuff, and you know how to set up in Wise in this example, in this case, sorry, setting up like a different randomizer pitch for maybe one thing, and it kind of creates like this infinite variation, and you just maybe think about doing one sound design really well, and if that works, you know, the engine kind of takes care of it, like, you know, pitching it down a little bit and pitching it high every time it triggers, and all that. So that's been interesting,
Oh,
in a way, this time. I haven't done that before, for example.
okay, but do you do any like I don't know what it's called, where they like they got like a like a tool, and they like, they make
Oh,
sounds,
the Foley.
Foley, yeah, that's what
Uh,
it's called.
yeah. I mean, I've done some, but mostly it's been sound libraries, and also I've been using AI.
Yeah,
uh,
okay.
so that's been interesting as well. Like, okay, I got this sound, I got this other sound that I really like, but I'm missing this sound that I cannot find anywhere, and I do not have any tool for it. So I just kind of prompt it into the AI, and it's like, oh, this is pretty close, and I just mash it together with what I already have.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
so that's so that's been kind of funny. I've tried, you know, like go full prompt laziness into it, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work yet. I don't
So
think it works
yeah,
for
it doesn't work.
anything. I
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hate AI, and I think
Mm,
that's their right. I've been trying to kind of
mm,
play around with it with like
yeah.
so I'll generate an image, and then I'll generate a model using that image, and then I'll try to like
Mm,
I have done an animation. I posted one on X of a little
yeah.
spaceman like running on the moon,
Right.
and it's fine, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of problems. Like you said, like you you wouldn't be able to use it in like a game. Like the topology and everything is wrong, and
Sure.
basically
Sure.
the polygons are all, they're not flowing correctly, and there's a lot of mistakes
Yeah.
that I had to hide by hiding it in the back, and I had to delete a lot of geometry, and then Yeah,
Yeah.
you can still use that stuff. And I've also played around with like, uh, you know, bringing it into a sculpting program and then like using it as a base mesh. And
Yeah.
I know people hate it, but I think it might be a good idea to start for people to start learning using AI. Like
Oh yeah, for
if you
sure.
have a base
Sure.
model or music or anything like the way you're kind of describing, I think it's a good idea to
Mm.
kind of
Yeah.
get off the starting line, if that makes sense. You know, a lot
Sure.
of the time
Yeah.
people have a hard
Yeah.
time even getting started, and I think
Oh
starting
yeah.
with something
Oh
that
yeah.
like an AI model that you don't really care about because it's so bad,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
really push it with your own artistic capabilities, and yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's something important
Yeah.
that people should consider at least, um,
Yeah.
and it's coming
Yeah.
whether we like it or not. So I think people should definitely, like I said, think about it. Try integrating it into their workflow, whether it's just using it for Google searching, basically, because that's what I use it for mostly, or playing
Yeah.
around with it in this way. I've never gotten a
Yeah. Yeah.
model or an image that
That
I
fully
felt
works.
that works. Yeah, it's always got so many
Yeah.
problems, and the more unique you try to go, the more
The
it just won't do it. So you
yeah.
still have to
Yeah.
use Photoshop. You still have to,
Yeah.
you know, force like you're not
Manipulate
forcing
it
the AI. You're
and
getting what you can get out of the AI, and then you force the image in the direction that you need it to
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
I
art
think
side at least.
people. Yeah. Yeah. I think people kind of get too tied into in the battle, of
The moral
copyright and
battle.
stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the moral battle. Yeah. But I mean, reference is pretty much the same as you get from AI. Like, I don't know, if you're like, oh, I want to do this painting, but I want some kind of reference. You look for this picture of a boat in a, I don't know, in a city. But you kind of, from that, you kind of distill it and make it your own. So you're
yeah,
kind of using anyway some kind of reference. So the same for music. It's like, oh, we want this kind of, I don't know, noir 80s style taxi driver music. So you listen to that and make something similar. So it's the same as AI, but it's been distilled by a
yeah.
human
I think
till.
if I was gonna
Yeah.
give a strong man argument, a steel man, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, steel man argument
Yeah.
in favor of the opposition, it would be that it takes years of learning and practice to be able to make that noir sound, while the AI takes like 2 seconds, and then you know
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
how do people keep up with that? So I think I'm
Yeah.
actually personally in the middle. I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah. Me too.
their AI can definitely go too far, and I think people can use it
Yeah.
in a very bad way. Like I saw one where someone posted an image, uh, and then another person took that image and ran it through AI and like did the Ghibli kind of trend with it, but not it
Yeah.
wasn't Ghibli. It was like a different look, and then like was claiming that it was his art, and that stuff I'm like completely against that. But
Yeah.
I think that using it to like push your ideas, and especially if you're an artist and you're still doing all the art anyway, um, I think it's fine. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a whole interesting conversation. Could be an interesting kind of roundtable topic
yeah, I think so too.
for the
Yeah,
studios if you ever want to do that later.
yeah, that'd be
But
fun.
yeah, yeah, I would say I'm also in the middle, and I get why people get mad because sometimes people wanna, I don't know, let's say paint, and they can never get that to that point, and AI can do it in a second. But also I think that's also like a psychological point of view. Like maybe if that happens so much and you think your worth is in trying to be an artist, maybe you're worthless now because AI can do it. So I would say maybe go to therapy and see that you know being an artist is not the what you are. You're just a human being, but trying to identify with what you do as work. I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, and I think
but
I
yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Um,
No.
so
But yeah.
we'll go on to the next one. So how do
Mm.
you approach coming up with music for different areas in the game, uh, or for situations like trailers and stuff like that?
Mm.
Because you do all the
um
music, including like videos or trailers that we have. Even the
yeah.
music that's
Yeah.
in the background right now that you can probably barely hear. It's it's all
Yeah.
Eduardo.
It's a combination of everything. from the writing side, whatever Flynn's been cooking, I kind of try to read it. Also
Hmm.
from the visuals, I mean, in this entertainment business, definitely it's very visual. It's a visual thing,
Yeah.
like 99% of the time. So uh, I think it's in the film scoring side of things. They say that picture is king. So I think that's very true. Whatever's happening in the picture, all the changes, whatever you see, if it's like, I don't know, a dark alley, like a bright alley, if it's the sun or whatever, everything kind of dictates the mood. So I go with that. um and definitely, there's a personal style for sure,
Hmm.
that I've developed over the years. So that kind of helps, kind of show my meaning for, let's say, the dark alley. If you put 10 different composers, they're gonna do maybe something similar, but each with its own voice. So I would say, yeah, mostly is the visual stuff about it, the world, what we're talking about. If it's a trailer, it depends on what the trailer wants, what we need, if there's any reference to it, and I think mostly is dictated by the visuals.
Yeah. So
And
once that happens though, like so, there's
yeah,
that mind level, and so like you want something to fit in there, but like how do you figure out what fits in there? You know what I mean?
what it, like how do you feel the blank page?
Yeah,
Is it?
like you said, you have the
Okay,
picture, but how do
yeah.
you fill in
What
that
did
the
you?
music that you hear? Like how do you make
Oh,
that
gotcha,
match the
gotcha.
world?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I had like a really good mentor. I mean, I had a lot, but the last one that I had was really, really good and kind of helped me to kind of never fear like the blank page and how to write music effortless without any trouble, and that really helped. He was like a absolute goat. So this guy kind of helped me kind of set up a method. For example, like he would always say like, exactly what you want to write, um, even though if you don't think like for example, let me put an example. um, if you like lemon or not, like,
Yeah.
and what it tastes like. You cannot say, I don't know, like, do you want lemon right now? You cannot say, I don't know. Like, do you want something sour or not? It's like a yes or a no.
Yeah.
So it's the same for music. You could say, if, I don't know, let's say there's some kind of love scene, for example. Okay, so what is love for me? After starting, maybe I could say it's an oboe in this register. Uh, it's this time of chord progressions. Maybe it's warm strings. Warm strings is, you could say, some of the lower strings in the cellos and some of the middle section in the violins, and all that is kind of memorized. So you just go like, oh, if I want love, I can use any of this. Do I want warm strings because it's like a
Oh.
warm sound? Yeah. Or do I want like a melody which is more intimate? Is the scene intimate? Yes. Then it's I don't know. It's an oboe in the middle register.
Oh, I
So it's
see.
almost like a list, like a checklist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. And the other one is, what feeling do you have? Is this really a love scene, or maybe they are fighting? If they're fighting, you change to another checklist, which is what is a struggle like. Maybe it's the strings doing like some kind of tremolo, very kind of tense, and in some high register which is very tense for the strings, and even the player
Hmm.
is gonna struggle because it's tense. So that kind of brings the audience to that. So it's pretty much like a checklist, but you have to know, every register of every instrument, every
You
little
have to know what the
thingy,
lemon tastes
every
like.
chord. But yeah, pretty
Yeah.
sure. Like, if you portray that to painting, it's like every color combination, how to do every style, anatomy, color, perspective, absolutely everything about it. You're really good
Right.
at it, and you just do a checklist. Because if you're like, oh, dude, I want to do this Ghibli style, and then you got into the page and you can barely draw a cube, then you got a problem there.
Yeah. So what would a guitar like where does a guitar fit
Mhm.
in this example, like the example you gave, like how would you
Yeah.
use a guitar for what feelings and stuff?
Well, since it's one instrument, it's definitely somehow intimate. So
Okay.
that's one thing. Um,
Hmm.
the other one, it depends. You can do a melody with a guitar, or you can do maybe chords. If it's chords, it could be a lot of stuff. It could be some maybe romantic. It could be very tense, depending if you're kind of doing some fast thing or I don't know some kind of flamenco thing. It's gonna get like this intense movement. Definitely, since you got a string instrument, it's a different tone. It's something you're not scratching against, for example, no, like the strings, like a violin or a viola. So it's a different tone in a way. So yeah, it depends. I mean, also the guitar has a really long register of chords, like from really lows to really highs. So the lows are more warm in a way. So it depends if you want something more warm, or if you're doing super something really high on the strings is more tense. So it really depends
I
on
see.
exactly what.
Okay.
And also there's like conventions, like the guitar is related to Spanish things. It kind
Mm.
of grew there. Well, so it kind of also some kind of pop music, maybe Western music, some kind of so that kind of might have an effect on that. It would be really weird to have, I don't know, um, some kind of guitar in like an Asian style music.
Yeah,
You could
yeah,
do
it
it.
would.
You, you could totally do it, but it's trying to force it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's also like these conventions, cultural conventions and stuff related to each instrument
Mm.
and whatever.
And the scales
So
you
yeah,
use too, right? Like the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The scales, the type of chords, there are chords that typically you could say sound happy or sad. I don't agree with that, but it's you could say like a different color palette
I see.
in a way. Like you can have like happy chords in between chords, but sound sad in a way. So not
Yeah,
necessarily, but it kind of helps in a way. Like
yeah.
it's a template, you could say.
What do you find yourself
Yeah.
using a lot for this game? What instruments?
For this one, I've been using synthesizers.
Synthesizers?
That's
Yeah.
been fun. Yeah. Also, I've been using um, something called extended techniques, which is using instruments in non-conventional ways. Like, for example, you can imagine this giant orchestral drum, that it's used with just some mallets. But some guy decided to use like a rubber ball and just, drag it across the membrane of the drum,
Oh,
and it
okay.
sounds like a whale. So those are extended
Oh,
techniques, something not conventional.
so things that are just
Um,
like eerie and like unnatural sounding.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've been using a lot of those kind of to create these kind of different feelings. For example, that's one that I've been using a lot, like actually using drums with a rubber ball and different kind of materials. I got this kind of sound library that somebody already recorded that, because I don't have like I don't know, like $100,000 drum. So you just buy the instrument of someone that that.
Uh oh. I think we're cutting out.
I should buy. Well,
So you cut out. I don't know. Can you move
Oh,
your hand?
sorry.
Can
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I think it's back.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
So you're saying, what was the last thing you said?
yeah. That I was using this library of a guy that already did like this sound design and different kind of big drums and different materials and stuff. Um,
Okay.
so I've been kind of mixing that with maybe conventional stuff like strings and some woodwinds and maybe some kind of eerie choirs and stuff, but trying to them not sound traditional in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think that's really interesting. I used to play
Mhm.
guitar and stuff, but like it was
Mm.
like high school garage band kind of stuff. So I was never
Yeah,
good. But I
yeah,
find what you're saying very interesting. So
yeah.
so I think I guess you kind of already answered a bunch of the questions I'm about to ask you.
Yeah.
So do you like how do you collaborate with the other developers um, to make like different audio or music for the different scenes, like how do you work with Michael and Zach or uh, anybody on the team? How is that
Mhm.
as a sound guy?
Yeah. I mean, you could say in the early stages, I would just wait for stuff to be done,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, I'm going in and play test myself and kind of get the vibe for it, and sometimes I would get feedback from them. Sometimes I would just kind of try stuff, and if nobody complained, I would say, well, it's a check. But lately I've been kind of getting more into the kind of dragging them into a meeting and saying like, okay, so what do you think is happening here? What if we add this, and what happens if Zach, what were you thinking about this? What is the, I don't know, the fathoms, what is the sea, about what is the Cthulhian thing here, the Leviathan, where do they come from? Kind of getting more into it, and kind of helping them. Well, they are helping me kind of to shape the world in a way.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get ideas from some, maybe Zach was like, okay, I'm gonna add this looks cool, okay, nice, this fits the world. And I was like, what if this thing that you made actually we make some, I don't know, some kind of somebody talking about some kind of party, and getting crazy because of the sea anomalies and stuff. And it's like, oh, I never thought about it. What if we actually expand this in further? And it's been like kind of collaboration back and forth. So that's been really cool. And also Michael has always been like a really good audio director without being an audio director, but I think he's like extremely tasteful in his uh, kind of desires for the sounds and the visuals and everything. So he's like a fully art director if you include
Yeah.
music and sound effects into the art part,
got-
which
he's got the
usually they
vision.
don't.
Yeah.
Usually they separate that, but he's like the full art director, you could say that.
Yeah.
So he's been really good since Sans of Aura about knowing what kind of direction he wants to know, wants to go, and from there I kind of just add my little spices to it.
It's good. Good.
And he's
So
like,
so
okay,
it's easy
that's
to
cool. Yeah.
it's easy to work with him, huh? Is it like has it
Yeah, I
been
mean,
like in the past if you've had other jobs like is it hard to uh get what they want if they don't really know what they want? You know what I mean? Like I'm assuming that that's probably
no,
hard.
I think the less that they know what they want,
The
it's
easier.
usually easier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But the interesting thing is, that Michael is very specific and really knows what he wants. But
Yeah,
there's like this in between. I've run about in this in between where people think they know what they want, people think they know music,
but they don't.
and they demand things that they don't know what they talk about, and they don't know how to explain it because they try to use terms that they do not understand. So it
Yeah,
becomes like
it
this
gets more confusing.
mess.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, oh, I think this development is not working. And it's like, dude, there's no development here. What are you talking about? So you have to kind of
like translate it.
get, yeah, translate it, but they translate it wrong because they're using these terms that they don't understand. So it becomes a whole mess. And
Yeah,
that's happened quite a few times for sure. So yeah, in this case, yeah, it's always actually being really easy to work with Mike and all of the guys in the studio.
that's good.
So that I think that's why sometimes I believe the music has been effective in mostly because it's really clear, and there's also like this really big space for artistic expression as long as being really clear about it. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, from what I remember from Sensor, everybody loved the music, and they even wanted this
Mhm.
the digital soundtrack available. So I mean,
Yeah,
it is good.
yeah.
Even my fiance likes it a lot too. So and she's not a
Mhm.
gamer. Um,
Nice. Yeah.
uh, I guess we already asked that one. Is it so? Is it hard working with people who don't speak your primary language? Like you speak Spanish, right? That's your
Mhm.
primary language, and then we all speak English
Yeah.
as our primary language.
Yeah.
So, what are the challenges with that? And do you have any advice for anybody who might be working like overseas that
Mhm.
is going to work with someone that doesn't speak their primary language?
Um, I mean, for me, it's not been that hard.
Yeah,
Like,
you speak English
fortunately,
pretty good, so
it's. I think it's okay. Yeah, I never had trouble with English. I think mostly because I've consumed a lot of English media. Uh, Definitely because of the country proximity for sure,
yeah,
but
yeah,
also because of the, you could say, the way that in general entertainment is mostly made in the U.S.
yeah,
Uh, so that goes everywhere, all around the world. So I've been consuming that, and been playing games since forever, and doing MMOs, and talking with people in English, and consuming reading in English, everything in English. So that definitely has helped.
Okay.
But but I think that the moment that is more difficult is when two non-English speakers try to communicate in English.
Ah,
I think that's happened a few times. I don't know, with French people, or I don't know, some other Europeans or Asian people.
yeah.
And it's like, what are you trying to say? What are you saying? And they don't understand me. I don't understand them. And it's like, oh, this is more complicated than I thought. And especially kind of getting ideas across. Sometimes gets complicated, especially if they're more complex ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any advice would be, I don't know, get more involved in the English, read English. I don't know, see movies without subtitles. All
Yeah.
that kind of bullshit stuff that they tell about. That kind of works in a way. Um, but yeah, for me, it's been kind of like a natural.
Not too bad. That's good. That's good to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, 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 yeah. But
Um,
but I mean, definitely, I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, and
yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to maybe I mean, it seems like you speak English pretty good, and you, like you said, your experiences in life helps with this. So it doesn't really apply.
Mhm.
So I guess I was kind of I for some reason I kind of thought of it like my dad speaks Vietnamese. Is his primary
Okay,
language, and
gotcha.
like he speaks it pretty good, but it's because he or at least I understand him. But a lot of times I've had friends who are like, I don't know what your dad's saying. So like, yeah, but he's
Right,
worked a lot
right.
with like obviously he has to work. He lives here now. He's a citizen here, so
Yeah,
he works
yeah,
with Americans. So um, I know that
yeah,
there was a
yeah.
lot
I
of
think,
struggles though for him.
yeah,
So
the moment that you kind of get involved in, and you don't have like much option, but like to survive in a foreign language, you kind of learn a lot. So
yeah,
that's usually really helpful. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just have some kind of lessons in conversation, or I don't know, speak to yourself, or I don't know, maybe that something like that. Maybe.
have you ever have you ever tried to communicate with someone through like Google Translate?
Yeah, yeah. I've tried that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
does that seem like it turns
It's
out very bad?
uh sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they don't get it. It's
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
mean,
try to
it has happened. Yeah,
I've tried to
yeah,
talk to people on like Sanzora, like comments or reviews on the discussions and stuff that are
yeah,
like from whatever country, Japan, Russia, or all of them, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
have to use Google Translate, and I just sometimes the translation isn't like doesn't make sense in English, right? Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
said
For
tries to
sure.
say it in English, I'm like what? And so I
Yeah,
just try to
yeah,
like guess what they're trying to say, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, all right, man. Well, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, what do you do on your free time?
Oh, sure. Well, lately I've been trying to work out.
Good.
Both
Yeah,
me and my girlfriend. So,
me too.
we'll be going to the gym. We like to swim, so we would 3 times a week to swim. That's been really fun.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm really bad at it, and she's like super good. So that's been also kind of fun. I don't know. Actually, I like to paint. I do some digital painting.
Oh, nice. You gotta
Not
show
really
us.
good at it, but yeah, yeah, sure. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I read, and I like I don't know, music synthesizers.
Do you do a lot of music
Going
stuff
out.
on your free time, or not really?
Not lately,
Not
but
lately.
at least I try to write like a really long, you could say more. Uh, I mean, the term is not classical, but like more serious music, something
Yeah.
for the concert hall. At least I try to write one a year,
Oh, okay.
and
Nice.
yeah, and try to kind of pitch it somewhere from some orchestra to play it or whatever. I haven't really done that this year. I gotta write my yearly piece yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year I did one, and I was quite happy with it. So trying just to keep the the chops sharp
Yeah.
in a way, and also trying to develop this voice, because it's different, writing something for media than something for myself.
Yeah.
Like as an artist, sometimes I wonder like, what do I wanna say as an artist? Like, what is my real voice? Because I get told what we need to write, but what do I really want to say? As an artist, as a person. So that's why I kind of try to keep like a piece a year or a couple of pieces or some ideas and kind of try to develop them.
That's good.
And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do try to do personal projects like related to
Hmm.
work too, like the
Yeah,
because I do like what I do a lot, but I
yeah,
oftentimes find myself like I just don't have the drive or the time or like maybe I want to be distracted by something else, so I kind of put it off and I never get
yeah.
my side projects done.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but yeah, sometimes it's fun. Like I
yeah,
definitely have like a lot of stuff, like personal projects in my, you could say, like in my shelf to do, but don't have like enough time or sometimes not enough energy. Like I could definitely, wake up like at 6 a.m. and try to do it, but it's like, nah, man, I'm too tired. Maybe I'll start
yeah,
a little later. And
yeah,
during the weekends I get busy, visit family or friends or whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, but eventually I'll try it. I have a lot of ideas. I actually like children books, so I want to kind of do some kind of, you could say, concert hall idea reinterpretation of some children books. Like, well, not really children books, but I don't know. For example, like Peter Pan or something. Like
Yeah.
my version of doing the music for the book of Peter Pan, like the original one, and kind of do that in a concert hall. And these kind of wild ideas that I would love to, but
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
don't get enough time. Yeah, yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
The first thing that came to mind was I saw this trend on. It's not a trend. Some podcast
Mhm.
where they would have
Yeah.
like artists, like singers,
Hmm.
sing the book Llama Llama Red Pajama. I don't know if you heard that before.
I never heard
Oh,
about it.
okay,
No,
yeah,
no,
you
no.
should check it out. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah. So after all that, so what's your like go-to music? Like, what are you into?
Uh, I have different stuff. I mean, I like, for example, working out with metal. I used to be
Yeah,
like a really big metal
metalhead.
head when I was, yeah, when I was in
Me
high
too.
school, and all my friends are even to this day.
Yeah,
We're like getting older, with gray hair and everything, but they
still
still
got the
look
long
like
hair
the
and
same.
stuff.
Yeah, some of them do, even married to this point. So I kind of been enjoying some kind of metal lately. I do like some kind of modern jazz
Yeah.
bands. I've been to several concerts, and also my girlfriend has similar taste to me, so
Okay.
that's fun. It's like, oh, this band is coming on, and we go to a lot of concerts. Um, so yeah, you could say like some kind of modern jazz. Also enjoy some kind of electronic, ambient weird stuff like Brian Eno and some of these kind of weird guys that do some kind of synthesizer stuff.
Okay.
Um, and also like the just like general soundtracks, either for games, films, and on the other side is the classical side. That that's what I studied for, to write symphonies and quartets and stuff. So I do enjoy that as well. I go to the concert hall every once in a while and kind of see works that I like. I don't know, Ravel and Debussy and Tchaikovsky, whatever. Um, and it's funny because my girlfriend's parents are musicians and they're in the
Uh,
orchestra, so it's like a this
is she a
this kind of
musician?
mix. No, no, no. She works
No.
at
Okay.
digital marketing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
I've been into like
yeah.
the Hans Zimmer like Dune stuff lately. And
Hmm.
before that, I like
Yeah,
the Interstellar um,
yeah,
stuff that he did too. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
like how epic everything sounds that he does. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he's very original.
yeah,
Whatever people think, whether you like it or not, but he's really original
yeah,
and kind of reinvents himself every time.
yeah.
So
Like Dune,
so that's
Dune versus Interstellar is so different to me.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds
for
so
sure,
different.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah, yeah. And I'm a super John Williams hard fan. He's like my musical grandfather.
okay.
But I kind of think about Hans Zimmer is like, I just love how he can reinvent himself so much and
Yeah.
do so many different shit. So yeah, but
All
yeah,
right.
that's mostly yeah.
Nice, man. I think we did a pretty long one. We've been going for some reason. These last few have been going over 40 minutes, and originally I wanted to keep it to
Yeah,
20 minutes, but
it's
we've
20
been
minutes.
since the first one we've been going beyond 20 minutes. So, but it's good.
Yeah,
It's because these
cool.
conversations flow naturally, and it just kind of takes a while.
Yeah,
So having fun.
yeah,
So we're
nice.
gonna take off now, and thanks for watching. If you made it this far, feel free to join our Discord or follow us on social media. The link should be in the description. Um, yeah, you guys have a good one. Oh, by the way, next week we're gonna start changing the format, and everything's gonna be much shorter and hopefully a lot more digestible for most audiences. So it'll be right to the point. Kind of, we're gonna try a YouTube short style, I think, and we'll try that for a little while and see
Nice.
how it goes. So yeah, man, thanks for talking to me.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Alrighty.
See you later.
Yeah.